Record. Well, hello, how are you? It's me, Rambler. Okay, I'm gonna set you up in the box and then I'm gonna talk. Alright. Okay, this morning at around 9:30 I was web surfing and I went on to check up on my updates with the local Calgary 4x4 four-wheelers club, which I'm a member of. And I got a very unexpected surprise. Well, I shouldn't say totally unexpected. It was a bit. I knew eventually this year it would come down, but I didn't think it would come down so suddenly. The Calgary Police, in conjunction with Calgary City Council, have started cracking down on Calgary motorists. And it's not just us that own these big monsters, but it's everybody. If you got anything from a Ford Pinto right up all the way up to a brand new Mercedes, you're in on this. Okay? You're in on this. And I'll tell you this. It's not good. They are cracking down, and if they find infractions on your vehicle, they're going to suspend your vehicle registration and give you a what I call a invitation to the policeman's ball, $81 fine. Now that can be anything from, I'm going to use my vehicle as a example. Okay, cracked windshields that affect the driver's visibility. Okay, lights that don't work. All right, mine work fine. And where I'm really gonna get it, and I'm gonna get horsewhip for this if I put this truck on the road, because I will get stopped for this, driving on, slang term, baloney skins. These are almost done. These tires are just about shot, okay? But they will get me that fine. And the other thing that we're going after, performance tuning modifications. And they're looking at things like exhaust systems, okay? And how it was modified, and if it is extremely loud. Now, I've been a little giddy in a sense, but also extremely cautious about running my truck here. It's something that I feel is a very hard-earned privilege that I've had over my life. It took me 49 years to get to that point, to where I now have bone crusher. And anybody that knows me knows it's been one hell of a journey for me. But I have the truck now. So, put you on the mirror here for a minute. If I can balance you. No, I think I can. Yes, I can. Okay. So, it's going to cost me a lot more than the cost of tires if I was to get pinched. Because I know that having a family member who was in law enforcement here in Calgary, and she actually had this truck out on the road the other day, and sliding. Okay, I'm gonna move you over to cowl and panel. There we go. Nope. Okay, just move here. Yeah. Tilt you a bit, and there. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm trying to get you on a good angle. Okay, so getting back to what I was saying, knowing that I've got a family member who is in law enforcement here, and she her station that she works out of is actually out of the mall back in here. See the shopping mall behind me. She told me the other night when we took the truck out that this would be one of the last times that I could drive it on these tires. She says, for sure I'm going to get stopped. They're going to see that the tires are weather cracked and the baloney skins on the rear tires, and I'm going to get pinched. And they'll probably try to come at me for the exhaust. But they can't do anything when it's parked here on private property and not going in it. So that's what I'm talking about when they talk about extreme noise. Now, I was about 140 feet from that motorcycle taking off the light, but yet the sound of his vehicle drowned out my speaking to you. Now, that's not to say that when I get going in Bone Crusher here and I hit the gas at highway speeds, that it's not going to drown out somebody's conversation sitting on the patio deck less than 100 feet away. That's an inevitability, and it is something that they're chasing down right now. Today, at this very minute, this very hour, there are police officers that are out. There are municipal sheriffs that are out, and as well as provincial sheriffs that are patrolling the Calgary main thoroughways, and the police officers are within the inner core, and they're looking for offenders. And it's pretty much anybody. I mean, like that white truck there, for all they know, he could have a broken windshield, right? If they pull him over, he's going to get nailed, you know, and that type of thing. Do we want this to happen? No. Is it a cash cow for city council? Some people are looking at it being that way. I'm not happy about it, and nor is anybody else, because for the time being, Bone Crusher is going to be parked. I wanted to go out today, you know, and do another bottle run and stuff like this, and possibly even do a clothing run to the one of the local homeless shelters. But that's not going to happen. The truck is going to remain parked. It's going to stay here, and that's it until such a point that they relax and feel they've got enough out of this, and then the truck will reappear. But I'm still liable for this, and it's funny I say this because the police officer just drove by, which means in about 3 minutes he'll be driving by my backside, so you'll see a police truck coming by. So anyways, this is where it's at. The truck has to stay put. It can't go anywhere. It's parked, and there's nothing I can do about it, not a damn thing. They're out looking. If my truck was on the street right now, it's on private property, parked on private property, but if it was on the street, yeah, right about this very second I could be getting grief from Calgary Police about my baloney skins and my exhaust. I know they want to get me on the exhaust and the baloney skins. They won't get me on the baloney skins for sure, because the tires are being replaced. I'm shopping around right now. I'm in conversations with different people who've got tires up for sale, and hopefully I can get a good price. I'm not going to pay brand new right now because I'm doing all the body work on it as well. So when the officer arrives, I may flag him or her down and talk to them about it, and I may turn off the video at that point. But at this point, I don't see the police truck that just went by. It was a Ford F-150 in Markville, and I don't see it, so maybe they're not. Because normally they go around, they come out here, go into the apartment complex, turn around, come back this way, and then come down here. And so far, nothing. Nobody. Nada. Which is a good thing. So what am I going to do? Tires for this thing are pretty expensive. For these 35-inch tires, I'm just going to crouch down here by them. For these 35-inch tires, I'm easily looking at, and there's a wasp, I'm easily looking at $1,000 brand new or over. Probably upwards of $1,200 to $1,300 for these Pro Comps. These are Pro Comp Extreme all-terrain tires. They're a 5-star tire, which means that they have a 5-star rating, and for the performance that they're put under, they perform extremely well. And I have no complaints. I've driven with them in the rain. I've driven with them in extreme rain. I've driven with them in the hail, where the road was completely coated with hail. So it was like a heavy sleet snow. And I had no traction issues. The only logistical issue is just one tire, really. But if they're really sticky, and when that cop comes down here, I'm going to stop him and I'm going to ask him about the tires, the tire issue, and about my exhaust, and see. Better safe than sorry, they say. And I feel that right now. I don't know, maybe he's not coming down here. That's okay. But I feel that it's a necessary evil that needs to be addressed. I need to know where I stand, because that event 3 weeks ago should not have happened. It should not have happened at all. That was despicable, I felt, on the part of the officer. And I felt he was just being a little meter maid, the way he came at me. And it's the second time he's done this. So I'm going to corner them and see what they say. I mean, worse come to worse, if it becomes illegal to have the stack on the truck, I'm not going to run an illegal stack. I'm going to remove it and run an exhaust, a side dump exhaust going out. But the big issue is, hey buddy, the big issue is, when it comes down to legality, is are they going to look at the emissions complete? Going, like, I still got my EGR hooked up underneath. Well, not hooked up, it's sitting there. It's there, but it's not there. You know what I mean? I'll show you here. Yep, didn't even open the truck up. Wow, started making the video without opening up my beast. Okay, let's open up the hood. Okay. Let's open up the hood. Did that just happen? Bird just take a poop in my truck? That sucks. Okay. Alright. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the EGR. This piece here. Okay. Now, through mechanical ingenuity and the ingenuity of good mechanics, it looks like it's all hooked up to the blind eye. It looks like it's there, it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. But it's not. It's a dummy, basically, anymore. When these trucks came out in 2008, it was the first year that General Motors started doing the diesel particulate matter and dealing with it, and running a type of fluid through the engine, and what that did was it strangulated the horsepower for the vehicle. This truck here puts out on city tune, what I'll call it that, 750 horsepower, 1600 foot-pounds of torque. On highway tune, it puts out just over 1200 horsepower and 2200 foot-pounds of torque. So the vehicle runs well. I have no issues with how it runs. I'm actually really impressed. The biggest joke I have out there right now is that Dodge Hellcat, which if you watch my earlier videos, was a big thing with me to own at the time. 707 horsepower, 685 foot-pounds of torque in that vehicle. It's just absolutely insane what those cars will do. They're rocket ships, okay? But they're for the street, right? This truck, this beast, was developed for both street, track, and off-road use. I've used it for recovery uses, and for the most part, and if it hadn't been for the tires, I wouldn't have gotten stuck, I don't think, out there. If it hadn't been for my baloney skins, I think I would have been okay. So, the tires that I'm looking for are gonna have at least 75 to 80% tread. These baloney skins are less than, and I mean less than, what they're looking at. I'll go down low here so you can see. Okay, you can see the coin in there. Yeah, a good set of, you see where the bottom of my thumb is? A good set of tires would have that much tread on it, but these are pretty much done. They're what we call city treads now, only safe on city roads, and they've had it. Yeah, they've had it.